Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Geek Acres. Had something tonight happen that was very, very strange. And I don't know how to explain it, but Bridget's been my witness. So if I am losing my mind, then she's losing it with me because I don't know what the hell happened tonight. But every once in a while, I go down to a restaurant that I've been going to for decades, you guys, many, many years. I used to go to this restaurant even back when my parents were alive, and my dad has been dead for 24 years. I used to take my dad to the same restaurant, and it was owned by the same person. Same person. I've always talked to the owner. She would always ask me how things were going in the family. She knew some of my family. She knew my brother that was killed in the head-on collision. And when she learned about what happened to my brother shortly thereafter, when Bridget and I went down there to go out to dinner, she came up to me and gave me a hug and told me how sorry she was to learn that my brother was killed. And I've known her for many, many years. I've known the owner for more than 40 years. Back when my family first met the owner, she was just a waitress at another restaurant that was nearby, a restaurant that was owned by Mr. Sluga. Mr. Sluga, back in the day, built a restaurant that was called Red Wing, and it was a very nice restaurant, and we ate there for many, many years. And then Mr. Sluga sold off Red Wing, went across the other side of the lake, and built a brand new restaurant called the Horseshoe Inn back in the day. And that waitress always told my family, one day she says, I'm going to own my own restaurant. That was her dream, to own her own restaurant. And she worked for Mr. Sluga for many, many years. Well, Mr. Sluga, after building the second restaurant called the Horseshoe Inn, he ran it for a little time, and then he decided to retire and get out of the business. And he wanted to retire down in Florida, and that was Brenda's opportunity to buy this secondary location from Mr. Sluga, because she worked for him at both restaurants. And she didn't get a chance to buy Red Wing, so when Mr. Sluga let the Horseshoe go, she took ownership of it. And after she took ownership of it, she has run it all the way up to this day. All the way up to this day. And I have talked with her countless times. She has always been the bartender behind the bar, serving her customers. And tonight when we went down there, there was a for sale sign out in front of the place. And I was like, oh no, it's up for sale. This is my favorite place to go, you guys. I've been going there for years and years. And I always get the same meal, which is a haddock dinner, because they do fish the way I like fish to be cooked. It's perfect, and it's the same every single time. It's consistent. It never changes. And I like that. So I was hungry for fish because it's been about a month and a half, and I told Bridget, I says, let's go out to dinner tonight and go get a fish dinner. And so we went down there to get a fish dinner, and I saw the place was up for sale. And I was like, oh no. And we go inside, and Brenda's nowhere to be found. And the staff that has always worked there, the waitresses that I used to talk to every single time I've gone down there, were nowhere to be found. And it was black people running the place. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that I've never seen a black person ever in the establishment, let alone running it. Very nice waiter. He was black, and he waited on us. He seated us. And our meal came out crazy fast. The fastest ever in all the years I've gone down there. I mean, it must have been like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, and our meal was out there hot and ready, and it was fantastic. And I gave him a tip, and it was exactly how the fish dinner has always been. And so I asked him, I says, is Brenda selling the business? And he looked at me and he says, no, he says, my family's owned the business for 17 years. He says, Kathy and Jamie own it. He says, my parents. And I just looked at him like, what? And he says, yeah, he says, I remember coming down here when I was a little kid. And he says, and we're selling the restaurant. He says, we bought it off Brenda 17 years ago. No, I just saw Brenda bartending at the same restaurant that we were at tonight just a month and a half ago, and she was asking me about my brother's wife and how she's been doing, because she knew my brother and his wife, and she knew other members of my family. She remembered my dad, she remembered my mom, she always has remembered me. And he said, we bought it off Brenda 17 years ago. He says, my mom and dad, Kathy and Jamie, are selling it. He says, after 17 years of ownership. The female waitress was black. He was black. I don't know if that was his sister. I've never seen black people ever at this restaurant or running it or claiming to own it. But today they claim they were the owners. And then there's always been a male cook at this restaurant. And this time a female cook came out wearing the apron, came right out of the kitchen after we were already starting to eat our meal. And she comes out and she says, how is everything? No cook has ever come out to ask us this. And I says, oh, everything's great. Thank you. And she says, before she left, she says, good to see you guys again. And she walked away, and Bridget just looked at me like a deer in headlights. And I said, did she just say again? She says, yeah, who is that? I says, I don't know. I've never seen that woman ever before in my life. And I haven't. I swear to God, you guys, this is a true story. I never seen this woman before in my life. Brenda always had a man cooking for her in the kitchen. And this woman had long blonde hair pulled back in a ponytail, and she had a kitchen apron on, and she was the cook. And she says, good to see you guys again. And I just went along with it, and I just said, yeah, you too. And I told Bridget, I says, I've never seen that woman before a day in my life. I swear to God, you guys, I've never seen that woman ever before. And the waitress and the waiter that were both black, I never seen them before. Never seen them before in my life. And that kid told me his parents owned the restaurant, and after 17 years of ownership, they're just now selling it. That restaurant was Brenda's dream. She would not sell the restaurant, you guys. That place is a gold mine. I have no idea what happened tonight, but I swear to God, you guys, it's a true story, and I'll show you a clip from what I took down there, because I was really blown away by what happened, because I was like, what? The staff was all different, the cook was all different, and there was no bartender there. The restaurant was packed. We sat way in the back of the restaurant. The restaurant was packed. And there was nobody at the bar, and there was no bartender. And Brenda was always bartending down there. Always. The owner. And she'd always talk to us all the time. That is the craziest thing ever. And Bridget's my witness that I've talked to Brenda every time we've been down here. She's behind the bar counter, bartending. And all the staff, the waitresses, I even know where they live. One of them's got a 100-acre farm up on Ivory Road, and she's been living up there for years and years and years. And I even would talk to her about her property, her house. She said her kids are going to be building a house on the opposite side of the road, because she also owns land on the other side of the road. And she was telling me about what she's doing with the farm. None of them are here, you guys. The whole staff has been replaced. This business has been in his family for 17 years, and they're just now selling it. What the hell? I don't even know what to say anymore, you guys. But we're heading home, and I have no idea what just happened. That is an absolute Twilight Zone thing. And now I wonder, where did Brenda go? Where's all the staff? What happened? I'm almost tempted to stop to the waitress's house and knock on her door and ask her what the hell happened.
Which way is it, left?
It's on Ivory Road. Go right when you pull out of here. Never seen them before in my life, and they claim that they're the ones that have owned the restaurant for 17 years. 17 years, and I've never seen them before until today, including the cook. And then she tells us, good to see you guys again. Again? I've never seen her before. Ever. Today was the first time I've ever seen that woman in my life. I really don't know how you explain the fact that you go to a restaurant countless number of times for decades. The food's the same, the service is the same, the people are the same, the owner's the same, the staff is all the same, the cook is the same. And then the next time you go, it's up for sale, and black people are running it, and they said that they've owned it for 17 years. And the other people that have always been there are nowhere to be found. I did not recognize one of the workers tonight. Not one, including the cook, that said, "Good to see you guys again." Never seen her before a day in my life. I have no idea, you guys, but I got footage that I put in this video to show you guys that it is up for sale and that we were there. And I have no idea what the hell took place, but now the one and only place that I've been going to for a bulk of my life is going away, and it will be run completely different, and the food will all change, and it probably won't even be worth going there anymore. But you know, nothing lasts forever. It's just sad that it was such a great place to go and it's come to an end now, and now these people that I've never seen before in my life claim that they're the ones that own it, and they're the ones that are selling it and have been there for 17 years. Okay, whatever. Tell me, you guys, how in the hell do you explain that one? Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.